Good afternoon. I'm here with some more Week 2 action from Division A of the AOE Leagues 1v1 tournament. We've got a matchup here between Ted in the yellow up against christar123ten, who I hope doesn't mind me just calling him Christar for short. Christar here playing as the Lithuanians up against Ted here playing as the Franks. So two heavy civs matched up against each other. I believe this home map is Christar's home map. Ted is, I think Gold Rush is his home map, but I might have gotten that backwards. Week 2, Week 1. I don't believe Christar has played that set yet, but Ted had a 1v1 split versus Super Monkey Car. I casted that set. It was a really fun set. I think Ted had like 500 elo points on Super Monkey Car, and Super Monkey Car did manage to take a game off Ted, which was a pretty impressive performance. All right, let's focus on this one though. Take a look at the maps for the two players. So Christar here as the Lithuanians. Front 4 berries. You don't like that as the Cav player, but does have a nice safe gold back there. In terms of wall ability, could be worse, could be a lot better. This wood line is kind of shot by the presence of water. That's always frustrating when you get that. But you certainly could maybe wall to the edge here, wall to your TC, and wall out across that way. But these two players probably can... Oh no. Christar starts to get housed, has to send a lot of villagers to drop the house. What happened there? Alright, I guess he was just giving the villagers something to do while the boar came in. So, all's well. Only 1 second of idle time. And the efficiency, not too much different there between the two players. Ted, let's take a look at his map. Definitely not very wallable at all. He's got 2 nice wood lines in the back, but it's just very open on his western side, eastern side. This wood line out here, pretty useless. So yeah, Ted is definitely going to have to play this one, I think, pretty open to start, play it pretty aggressively. And certainly going to see scouts from both these players to open. From what it looks like, both players with 3 on wood. Lithuanians, though, of course, can get up much faster than Franks with the extra food in the bank to start with. So we could see 18 or 19 pop uptime here for Christar. So yeah, I suspect what Ted will do is he'll go with small walls around these wood lines, small walls around the berries. Yeah, might not even bother with full walling the space at all. Let's take a look at the scouting for the two players. Alright, small walls here coming in for Christar. He's got nice scouting. Located the berries. Has located the gold. Just misses the lumber camp. But he'll probably circle back over to that. As for Ted being a pest here, hitting the house just to try to distract Christar, take some of his attention. But Ted has scouted the berries, scouted a wood line, and probably will circle around to scout this other wood line as well. Both players clicking up almost with identical times, both going up at 20 pop. So this is just going to come down to scout micro. Frank scouts are going to have a bit of advantage off the rip since they've got basically free bloodlines for the scouts.
Okay.
So small walls for Ted. He's got 10 on wood. Small walls here for Christar as well, except for this wood line. That is a bit vulnerable. There's the barracks for christar. Let's see, when Ted drops his. Yeah, so far, everything just perfectly symmetrical. Both players small walling both of their lumber camps. Both going for 2 lumber camps. Both going for 20 pop scouts. Both with rather exposed berries and rather safe gold. Alright, both players up. No stable yet for Ted. A little short on wood. I invested into those walls there. But we'll have it in just a moment. Stable coming down. And actually, stables are coming up at basically identical times for these 2 players. Ted has the first farm upgrade. Neither player with double bit yet. Alright, double bit on the way for both players now. Alright, spear out for Ted as well. That's certainly going to help. Spear out for Christar. So Ted's scouts are going to have a little bit of an advantage, but at the same time, Christar's spears are going to have a little bit of an advantage, namely a speed advantage. 3 spears out for Christar. So he's going heavy on the spears. If he goes too heavy, I suspect we'll see a archer switch here for Ted. And yeah, Ted is going to start getting the full walls in place. Yeah, could even just walk to the edge of the map there. Let's see who pushes forward first here. Christar gets housed briefly there. That's unfortunate for him. Some spear on spear violence here. Alright, Ted going for the counterattack. Sending the scouts around, but there's not going to be much damage to be had here unless... No, that's walled. Christar losing 1 spear there, I think, to the town center. Looking for damage, not going to be able to find any. Ted looping around. I'm going to come back to this later. How much is in that? 60. This is exposed, but there's 1 spear, which with only 3 scouts won't make it 2. Should be good there. This spear also going to go down into the TC. What happened here? Must have been an overchop on the edge or poor walling by Ted. I missed that. No vills go down, however. But that's definitely some idle time there for Ted. Alright, Ted sending his scouts back. Ooh! I missed that as well, man. I can't keep anything straight. So Ted losing 3 scouts. I think he was distracted with this. So far, Christar's been getting the better of the engagements, but Ted with 1 villager ahead, I think because of the idle time when Christar was housed. Engagement between scouts. Yeah, very, very even matchup so far. Ted is going to have most of his base full walled, though. Yeah, once he does that, these scouts are going to be pretty neutralized. Basically, identical eco compositions at the moment. Both players with, actually, Christar with a little bit more on food at the moment. I think only 1 scout left so far. Yeah, only 1 scout left here for Christar. Ted will be full walled. Yeah, we're just gonna have some spears duke it out. Christar gonna take 1 more pass through Ted's base. Yeah, he'll lose that scout. And yeah, basically no military left for these 2 players. Christar starting to full wall himself, but has quite a ways to go with that. And now we're just going to see these 2 players try to get up to the castle age. Christar selling some resources. So he's going to be up first. He has the res, and he has clicked. Ted will probably click up in another 20, 30 seconds. Alright, so this is going to come down to a night fight. And Ted is going to have to deny the relic grabs here for Lithuanians. So let's take a look at where those relics are. One of them is quite easy to get right there. Second, pretty easy to get there. Relic 3 up here in the middle. 4 closer to Ted. And number 5, where is it? There it is. Alright. Ted will be about a minute behind Christar for Castle Age. Yeah, this lumber camp's starting to get pretty ugly there. Gonna be a big hole in the wall. Ted will definitely keep an eye on that. I think Christar might have to think about putting a lumber camp over here. Dropping a blacksmith now. And actually going for a second barracks instead of a second stable. So it looks like Christar is maybe thinking about how push. So it could go... I mean, we could see him play this unexpected and go with a, you know, like pike siege push. Or he's just going to use those guys to try to secure relics. Yeah, going for the pikeman upgrade. Ted gets trapped in there, but that scout does do one nice thing, which is locate 5 spears here for Christar. Might give it away to Ted what Christar's up to. Here comes the monastery. Ted's also going to scout that. That's exactly what Ted's looking for, I think. Ted will get trapped. And, oh, he sneaks out with 2 HP. Ted dropping a second TC. So he's playing this more for the long game. Ted scout finally goes down. And armor coming in for the pikes. So I think Christar wants to use those pikes to defend the monks to get the relics. That's what this looks like. We got 1 monk out. And let's see which relic he goes for. Ted, meanwhile, producing 2 knights. He has the second wood upgrade, the second farm upgrade. Clings Ted's other scout. So Ted knows that relic is being hunted for. Yeah, Ted will definitely have the better eco. Actually going for a 3rd TC out here. Wants to secure that gold. Yeah, that's a nice play. I like that. 1 TC, or sorry, 1 relic in hand. Ted dropping a monastery of his own. I think he wants to contest those relics. Second monk is out. 3rd monk is out. So let's see how many of these relics Christar can get a hold of. Thing is, he is going to be quite behind in eco. Already 2 villas back, and a lot of eco upgrades in for Ted. Look at this. Ted researching squires. So, longswords? No.
Hey.
He's on stone. Throwing axemen. That's nice. All of this because Ted had that scout in his base and saw that Christar was going for pikeman switch. Conversion? No? Yeah, fortunate for Ted, doesn't suffer conversion there. Yeah, Ted, more confirmation that Christar is going heavy on these. This is beautiful. Gotta jump on that. Getting the armor on those guys as well. So yeah, I mean, a castle up here, or a castle up here, would be sick if Ted could get one up there. 8 villager lead. Second relic coming in.
Close all.
Christar will have access to that. That'll be number 3. And then number 4 should be a pretty easy get. So 4 relics is definitely feasible here for Christar. And maybe it's not throwing axemen off the rip. We got 4 barracks going down for Ted. So maybe Ted's actually thinking longswords here.
Okay, yeah.
Ted with monks of his own head now. Gonna grab this relic. And now more stables. Now Christar wants to make that knight switch. Those knights who are gonna have crazy, crazy attack upgrades. Still only on 1 town center though. So Ted just getting so far out ahead economically, almost 20 villagers ahead at this point. So I think Christar is going to have to be aggressive here if he wants to have a shot in this. Alright, the pikes are moving forward, the monks are moving forward. Is Christar going to follow this with some siege? Let's see, does he have a villager head now? Not yet. Yeah, this is overchopped here, so Ted could have a nice counterattack. Here comes the defensive castle. So that push is dead in the water before it's even begun. $25 vil lead now for Ted. I like this too. Ted getting the outposts out there, getting some visibility. He knows he just needs the holdout, let that eco lead continue to blossom. And what do we got in production for Ted here? Throwing axemen. 5 in the queue, so alright, there's the siege workshop, there's the villager. So Christar gonna push from this side. Ooh, and that hole in here. So those pikes are in. And let's see how much idle time he can cause. Throwing axemen are out though. And these guys are so nasty against pikes. You don't need near the numbers. Some knights coming in though. +4 attack on those bad boys for Christar. So probably can use those to clean up these axemen. Yeah, so this is the kind of pressure we were talking about. If Christar can snowball this, it's going to be in a good spot. Eco lead continues to grow though. 30 vil lead now for Ted. Yeah, good fight here for Ted though. He's throwing axemen, getting a lot of damage. Knights haven't been able to engage with them yet. And the pike numbers are starting to even here for the 2 players. Ted's going to get the better of this fight, which is kind of shocking given the numbers that Christar initially brought to this fight. Ted trying to get another castle up, and he will. He'll definitely get this up. Christar's military has been basically entirely cleared. Those knights will go down, that mango will go down, that scorp will go down. Ted, in a really, really dominant spot now, has secured this side of his base, this gold back in his possession, these 2 wood lines back in his possession. Now Ted the one pushing out. 30 military to 6, 23 vil lead. Alright, Christar trying to transition just into Cav now. Looking for some conversions. Gets 1. Stabs his buddy in the back. Alright, the push is dead. Push is dead. Alright. Ted, just a matter of food before he's able to go up to Imperial Age. Nice clean by him. And the thing is, Christar now trying to go really heavy into the knights, but Ted's got so many stinking pikes. I don't think those knights are gonna be able to deal. So yeah, looks like Christar thinking about maybe adding in some skirmishers here. Getting this castle to try to get some map control. I like that as well. I think Ted's thinking the same thing. He's sending those villagers forward. They're gonna run into this castle. So Ted, yeah, maybe we'll instead opt for a castle to secure that side. But Ted is definitely gonna have the better uptime. He has clicked to Imperial Age. Yeah, I think Ted's in a good spot for a Treb war. Okay, Ted opts for this hill. Nice thing about that is it's in range of that castle. So when Ted gets those Trebs out, they will be protected by the castle. Still 25 villager lead here for Ted. This is his third castle coming down. More on food, more on gold, more on wood, more on stone for Ted. Definitely in the driver's seat here. Yeah, and especially with that imp time, I think Christar is going to have a really, really hard time holding onto this castle. He's not going to be able to dive on the Treb either. Not with Ted having this kind of military out on the field. Even with those +4 knights. Nice looking eco there. 4th town center coming down for Ted over here. And look at the visibility. It has outposts there, there, there. He sees all. It's like the Eye of Sauron. Alright. Imp about to hit. Let's see how Ted plays this one. Alright, going for the light cav, chemistry, husbandry. So yeah, what are we going to see here? Halb, light cav, Trebs. 2 Trebs on the way. Yep, getting the armor upgrade, so I think he does want to go into Halb. Adding more stables to spam the light cav out of. Still a minute away from Imperial Age is Christar, adding a 3rd castle here. Or sorry, a 3rd town center. Treb number 1 is out. Putting it there in the open field instead of in front of his castle. Probably doesn't matter. Halb upgrade's on the way. So, shouldn't have any worries there. Alright, Skirmisher, Elite Skirmisher upgrade coming in, and the +2 armor for these knights. But there is no way Christar can dive on these Trebs. Not with Halb. Not a chance. Yeah, I think Christar's going to have to give up this castle. His only hope is for that Skirmisher upgrade to come in quickly to get a lot of Skirmishers on the field. But Ted is ready for that. Ted is going to have the light cav upgrade, and look how many stables Ted is producing. Yeah, Ted just one step ahead. Look at the population, 185 to 120. Christar, I think, doing the right move here. He can't engage in the Trebs, going for a counterattack instead. The Knights are going to get pinned in here. It's going to lose a lot to Halbs. And under that castle fire. Ted adding in a bombard cannon as well. Alright, both players up. Christar going to try to get some eco damage here, even out the villager numbers. 35 vills behind. The castle's already down. Here come the light cav. Yeah, so these skirms aren't going to be able to do anything now with the light cav out there. Halb's still chasing the cav. And this push will continue. Christar is in a lot of trouble here. Yeah, there's just nothing he can do to stop this. Not with light cav on the field. Light cav already jumping on the skirmishers. This TC will be down really soon. Christar prioritizing Bracer, Chemistry, prioritizing those skirm upgrades over the Knight upgrades. Makes sense. Yeah, there's no way to stop this push. 6 stables here, but there's just no skirms on the field at the moment. Ted popped out. That's a lot of throwing axemen too. Alright. Halbs are somewhat separated. Christar might be able to jump on these throwing axemen. Take a good fight here. Yeah, but there's enough Halbs to deal with this. $60 military on the field for Ted. The light cav raids haven't really started yet, but I think it's largely just because Christar's eco is so compact right now. Here come the light cav, diving on the skirms. Christar trying to dive on the throwing axeman here with the knights, but the numbers dwindling really, really quickly. And the GG's called. Well played by Ted. I mean, it was very, very even up to Castle Age, and I think it basically just came down to a matter of strategy. Ted went for a bit more of an eco-heavy approach. Christar wanted to prioritize the relics, and he just wasn't able to snowball having that attack bonus. So when he did finally make the push, he didn't really... I mean, Ted had predicted it was coming. He had the right composition to deal with it. The throwing axemen, those dudes just get insane value against pikes. And once that push failed, it was just a matter of Ted snowballing the victory from there. Well played by Ted. And let's take a quick look at the statistics before we head over to game number 2. Yeah, almost a 2-to-1 KD ratio there for Ted. Pretty dominant eco advantage as well, 52k to 39. All right, game 2, Gold Rush. So like I said, I think this is Ted's home map, but not certain about that. All right, game 2, Ted as the Goths. I like this. Don't see Goths played too often. This should be a fun one. Goths matched up against the Sicilians. For the Sicilians here. But Goths, of course, if they can get to a decent eco spot and they have access to all this gold, you ain't stopping that, the Goth spam. But early game definitely favors Sicilians. And Sicilians are honestly, they're great late game as well. All right, take a look at the map for the two players here. So this one's a little bit harder to wall up, I think, than a usual Gold Rush map. So, I mean, Christar, one house there, walled the DC. I guess that's pretty good. They could even just wall to the DC from here, so maybe that's not so bad. It's a long way to those lumber camps, though, which is going to be pretty juicy if you are Ted with a Goth Drush or Men-at-Arms play. Ted dropping a lumber camp here. Might not realize that's only 2 trees thick there. How's Ted's map looking? Pretty solid. You could wall... I mean, he could, if he wanted, wall here. Get a lot of wood lines under his possession. Wall out front of these berries. Wall there. Could get a lot of map control that way. But yeah, curious about the play we're going to see from these players. Night scouting here by christar. Already in on Ted's base. Ted pays attention, moves those sheep. So the last week 1 on this map, Ted went Aztecs. Went for pre-mill drush with 2 militia. Curious to see if he does the same thing here. No scouting yet for Ted. He's prioritizing the pushing deer. So, nope, we're not going to get the pre-mill. Got the mill coming down. So yeah, whatever Ted's playing for, it's not a pre-mill drush. Maybe men-at-arms. Eye on it. Yeah, what will we have as a play from Sicilians? Probably, well, we got 4 on wood here. Maybe not a scouts opening. Christar might... I don't think he's going to try to FC this. It's pretty hard to pull the FC off. Actually, hasn't collected all the sheep yet either. Prioritizing the scouting. So I think he's prioritizing the scouting because he is worried about an early drush. I think that's what he's looking for. Well, no, now he's looking for... he wants to lame a Vil. That goes out for the elephant. Lame the elephant? No. Yeah, it just has that scout on patrol, looking to snipe a Vil that comes out. Fortunate for Ted, though, this elephant's pretty close to the TC. Here we go, here we go. And Christar... Oh, he does it before the villager fires an arrow. Can he get the block? Yeah, it's too close. Loses the scout. It was a good attempt. Elephant was just way too close. Alright, so Ted's got to be pretty happy with that. Not really any idle time to speak of. Takes out Christar's scout. And now, Christar has no way to scout out the men-at-arms. No way to know when they're coming and from what direction. Alright, Christar starting to wall. Alright, gonna locate those sheep. That worked out nicely for him. And Ted, what are we looking for here? Probably men-at-arms. Christar, meanwhile, up with what would normally be a 21 pop up. What's he going for here? Second lumber camp. Maybe thinking straight archers. Hasn't gone to gold yet, though. Could be scouts. Ted's beginning the walling. Yeah, 1 militia in the queue. So we do have men-at-arms here for Ted. And Christar looks like he's gonna go for small walls instead of full walls. He's got the berries walled in, but there's no villagers in there. Okay, those villagers came out to mill the sheep, but now they're not protected. And where's Ted's scout? I guess Ted lost his scout. Where did he lose it? Oh, right here, under the TC fire. So both players losing their scout under the TC fire. That's a tough beat for Ted. You don't have a scout to block for your men-at-arms. We got 4 men-at-arms coming in. Let's see if Christar can get walls up before those men-at-arms come in. This area is going to be vulnerable. Stable coming down. Oh, if you get... Yeah. He's not going to get it down in time. No. This might... Is that going to get denied? I think this will go up. This is such a tough beat for Christar. Oh, no. Just before those get walled in. There's the men-at-arms. Men-at-arms in just seconds before the walls would have been up. Christar's going to have to quick wall like a beast here. Oh, no. That villager gets trapped on the outside. Nice quick walls from Christar, but these men-at-arms are so strong. Remember, buildings have been nerfed. That's 4 men-at-arms. Yeah, so let's see how Christar deals with this. He's probably going to have to get a range down. I don't know how else he's going to be able to deal with this. And what's the follow-up here? Archers, fast archers, and a spear. So Ted spotting the stable, confirmed scouts. And Christar off of this wood. That's going to make it even harder to make a skirm switch here, which is what Christar's going to have to do if he's going to deal with this. Ooh, nice friendly line helping out Christar. Nice micro by Ted to clean it. 4 men-at-arms, a spear, an archer, a second archer moving forward. Christar trying to counterattack with the scouts. Ted is almost full walled. He's got this little tiny gap to get up, and it's up. just in time. Ooh, fortunate for Ted. If those scouts had gotten there 10 seconds earlier, that villager's dead. Alright, here comes the range. This is going to be hard, though. 4 men-at-arms out there. That provides a really nice meat shield against the skirmishers. Look at all the lions! So many lions coming in. Ted having to micro against those. And, yeah. Christar's scouts are coming back, but the stable is down. Dropping a donjon. Okay, so he's going to secure that side with a donjon. Probably a nice play. Doesn't have the military to defend it, so that's probably his only option right now. 2 spears, 2 archers, 4 men-at-arms. And what do we have? 3 skirms and an archer prepared here for Christar. Will Ted just dive on this, though? Loses an archer. Loses 2 archers. Alright, good value there for Christar. Gonna make it a lot more manageable to deal with this. But meanwhile, Ted is going to Boomtown over here. Already on 13 farms. Only 10 on food here for Christar. Ted also 1 villager ahead. And he's got all the initiative. And at the moment, still a bit better of a military. We have fletching here for Ted. Yeah, fletching is in as well. If I see Ted produce a few more archers, and then just get up to Castle Age. Keep an eye out, too, for when Ted goes to Stone. See if he prioritizes the Huscarl push. Or he might just play this Expo. Neither player has the farm upgrade. Both players with the wood upgrade right now. Yeah, Ted just in a much better position to get a competitive uptime. Alright, yeah. Ted is going to Stone. So he's going to get up. And, I mean, with this kind of military presence, could maybe even think about being pretty aggressive, putting his first castle right up here in the middle. Which is maybe what he's going to do here. See how he plays with this military. Christar still hunting for a way in. But definitely not going to find one. Question is, can he scout out this... see if he scouts out the gold. I mean, the stone. Yeah, could probably see it if he gets up nice and tight. Alright, here comes Ted. Cleaning out all the lines in the middle. Make it nice and safe for his villagers. Ted's about to click. Christar is going to be, I think, probably a minute behind. Fletching in. Alright, here comes Ted. That nice looking military. 6 archers. Still has his 4 men-at-arms. And a few spears in the mix. Let's see if Christar can flip the hill position here, though. Take the high ground. Nope, they're all just passing each other, and oh no, this is so bad for Christar right when his military leaves. Could not be less lucky than that. Luck has not been on his side this game. Gonna lose... Well, doesn't lose any villagers, but that's a lot of idle time. And yeah, now his stone's in danger. Or sorry, his gold is in danger. Actually, he has to leave the gold. This is disastrous here for Christar. The only upside would be if he's able to clear Ted's military because of this. 2 villagers down there for Christar, only further delaying his castle time. Ted 50 seconds away from Castle Age. I think this army's just going to dive under the donjon. Nice walls there from Christar. I like that. Actually getting a lot of kills out of this engagement. Does clean almost all of Ted's military. Alright, Ted, with basically no military to speak of on the field, but the uptime, 2.5 minutes ahead to Castle Age. So realistically, I don't know what Christar's going to be able to do here. Can't really counterattack. Too skirm heavy, this military composition. So I don't think he's going to be able to get any value counterattacking. Ted, not going to be super aggressive here, which I think is the right call. Doesn't have military to secure it. Going to boom out for a little bit. Probably going... Yeah, he's getting the Bodkin. Has a second range, so I think we'll see him go Expo here. And then push forward. With that. Alright. 2 stables coming down here for Christar. Alright, Expo coming in. Ted's going to go forward and attack with this. Castlate's still a minute out. Christar still hasn't been able to secure this area and wall up. I'm really worried those crossbow just walk in and clean this lumber camp again. Okay, where are those villagers heading? Oh, Christar. Oh, he's going to be a greedy boy. He's going to try and secure a TC in the middle. Right off the rip. Doesn't know these Expo are here. And they're heading right for him. Oh, this could be... No ballistics, fortunately, for Christar's sake. Alright. Christar needs... He needs some upgrades on these dudes to engage the Expo. Has the hill advantage, though. And the Expo are firing at the villagers. Able to clean 3 of the Expo. Loses 1 villager, 1 archer. I think if you're Christar, you're more than happy with this trade. That could have been a lot worse. Cleans all those Expo. TC will go up. But meanwhile, behind this, Ted going to Boomtown. 10 villagers ahead. 3 TC. And 2 TC here for the Sicilians. Man, they build those TCs fast. You blink, and they're up. Going to gold here. And... Okay, no, sorry. That was 1 stable, 1 range. Or no, that was... Okay, yeah, so 2 range. And actually, Christar, instead of going for Elite Skirm, is actually going for Expo. Pushing forward, but not in time to deny this castle. This is an unfortunate tech decision for Christar, who now knows that he's about to be facing up against Huskarl. Yeah, he's going to have to run. Not able to get any vill kills there. Christar going to be fighting an uphill battle here. Metaphorically speaking. Literally, he'll be fighting downhill, since he has the high ground. But Huskarl's on the way. So Christar's probably thinking, okay, now I got to go back to Cav. Yeah, villager going forward. I think he wants to drop siege. He knows he's behind. Hoping to get damage. So finds himself in something of a similar position to game 1. Where score damage now. Or die a slow death. Alright, able to pressure this wood line. Able to pressure the gold. Where'd that Vil go? Alright, the Vil actually... Oh. Yeah, decides against building the Siege Workshop, I guess. Wants to make a longsword switch. Getting supplies. The problem is, though, Ted already has these 2 ranges. He has the Expo upgrade. He has the Bodkin upgrade. So longswords are going to have an issue there. 18 Vil lead at the moment here for Ted. Also, Christar just doesn't have that much food behind this to produce a lot of longswords. All right, Elite Skirm coming in for Ted. 4 TC coming in for Ted as well. Yeah, his eco is going to be cooking here. Christar. Let's see when he goes to stone, because he's going to want to get a castle up there to secure that position. Alright. Starting to get the swordsman out. I like that outpost from Ted. That's nice. Just have to be a little careful of an overchop there. Yeah, but... Ooh, could go through here. Just a palisade there. What does Ted have to deal with that? Well, he does have Elite Skirmisher. That upgrades in, so he should be able to deal with this without too much trouble. Has a few Huskarl. And, yeah, Elite Tech coming in. Another Town Center. But Ted doesn't have access to gold. He's only got this initial starting gold. He has been very frugal with it so far. All he's really lost are a few expo. But Ted isn't going to be able to produce a massive military with the amount of gold he has available to him. And it looks to me like he wants to get to Imp first before he makes a push up. Alright, now Ted's going to see the swordsman transition. Alright, so Ted sees that. Now, what does he think here in terms of, yeah, immediately... Okay, no, he's adding barracks. I think he's just going to go swordsman himself. Yeah, supplies. Or, sorry, squires. Armor upgrade. Just adding a ton of barracks. He knows he can outproduce Christar. I'm sure he knows he's got an eco lead. Probably doesn't know that he has a 40 villager eco lead. Yeah, Christar still only on 2 town center. And the window for Christar to pounce on Ted, I think, is quickly closing here. Yeah, Ted, yep, going Imp. Imp is on the way. How much gold does he have left? He's got enough to field an army.
Yeah.
And Champion with some elite skirmishers mixed in will just tear right through Christar. Like a hot knife through butter. Ted diving in here. Or sorry, Christar diving in here. He has a numbers advantage. I mean, Ted is obviously playing this one pretty greedy. Can Christar clean out these barracks before the flood begins? Yeah, Ted immediately producing more barracks. Realizes those ones are in jeopardy. And, yeah, I mean, Christar could do this. If he can destroy that production, Ted has no military right now. He's just counting on this eco carrying him. Is pushed off this gold, though that gold's almost exhausted anyway. Christar can clean these barracks. He's got a real shot here. All right, Ted heading out here with some villagers. What's he going to do with those guys? He's looking to drop a castle. All right, he's trying to get a mining camp in the middle. He knows gold is an issue, but Christar's camping right on that gold. Ted actually could be in a little bit of trouble here. Fortunately, he has a castle protecting this here, so there's not really any way for Christar to jump on those with the numbers that he has. 2 barrack production here for Ted. Adding a couple more. Yeah, instead of going for this TC, I think the play for Christar would actually be to jump on the production buildings right there. Swordsman cleaning up those villagers of Ted's. And the push is dead. Ted has survived the push. Much like in Game 1, he held out when he needed to hold out. And now, I mean, unless Ted just runs dry on gold here, which is still a possibility. Gold is definitely running low here. Yeah, I mean, if Christar can hold, if he can hold from a push up this hill, he really only needs to survive 1 push. I don't think Ted has the gold to push more than once. Does have a lot in the bank, though. 1,100 gold in the bank.
Ja. Pacer?
Alright, 2-handed swordsman upgrade on the way here for Ted. Yeah, he might want to wait for that upgrade before he takes this fight. But still no castle here for Christar, who's actually going to Imp. I think that's a mistake. I think that might be a mistake. I think putting your resources into military units to defend the push here might have been the better play. Because now he doesn't have the military to stop this push from Ted. If that castle goes up, Ted has access to gold. Yeah, and the 2-handed sword upgrade is in for Ted. Christar has the hill, but the flood continues for Ted. Christar cannot keep up production. His resources went towards Imp. Trying to deny the castle. The castle will go up. And Ted has gold. Ted has gold again. GG, Christar calls it. Yeah, he knows what that means. It means the Goth Flood will not end. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. If he hadn't clicked Imp, maybe he wouldn't have had the production anyway. Let's see, how many barracks are we looking at here? 4 barracks. Probably not enough anyway, even if you don't spend those resources to really stop that push. But yeah, I mean, if Christar had, I think, even just a slightly better eco and a few more barracks here, he had a real shot in that game. That push really did some damage. Was able to deny a couple of those barracks. And Ted, definitely took a gamble going for that amazing eco before making the push out, because his gold did run dry. He doesn't have a lick of gold left. Well, I guess he's got that tile still left. But if that push had failed here, that game was over. Christar would have won it, even with a much smaller economy. Well played there by both players. That was a really fun one. It was a good chess match. Take a look at the statistics here real quickly. Yeah, Christar actually with the better KD in that game, 104 to 78. Even had the military high, 45 to 43. Man, he was so close to being able to deny that push. So close. I would love to see the counterfactual where he produces instead it goes to Imp there. Yeah, 121 vills to 88. Really sick eco there for Ted. All right, so that does it for that set. A 2-0 victory for Ted, who now has, I think you get 3 points for 2-0 victory, 1 point for a 1-1 split. So through 2 weeks, Ted has earned himself 4 points, which I believe puts him currently at the head of Division A. All right, we'll see you guys soon for some more Division A action. You guys have a good rest of your day.